Good morning. Today is September 19th. And I'm doing a podcast. It's been a while. I don't think I've done one since May, I think, but I wanted to do one because I always get a lot of emails, and while I would love to respond to everyone, I just cannot. But today I got a really awesome request on Twitter to do a podcast on pushing past obstacles, fear, and doubt. And I felt like that was really cool and a good one to do and to sort of start my morning. It's 8 a.m. I start early. I actually work at like 3:30 in the morning for like an hour. So I try to not start my day head on until 9. So I have some time. The first thing I want to talk about is the obstacle. The obstacle or the hurdle. An obstacle or a hurdle usually has the appearance of a setback. You're getting ready to do something and you had everything set up, and someone drops out, something drops out, and or something really difficult in your life happens, and in your mind this is an obstacle or a setback. For me, I always say that whatever is going on in your life, whether it be good or bad, how you perceive it is dictates the amount of power that it actually has in your life. I'll tell something really, really personal. I've shared this with my Crowbox subscribers, but 2 years ago, I went through really bad breakup, got a DUI, had a couple drinks, went out, got a DUI, and basically got into trouble because that's what happens when you break the law. I got into trouble, and it took like a year for everything to kind of go through the court system and my attorney. And at the end of the day, a year later, the judge was like, you need to do your whole time in jail, the whole 24 hours. I was like, are you kidding me? And I didn't even get like a heads up. It was literally my lawyer called me at 5 o'clock one day and was like, tomorrow your case is settled, but you have to spend the rest of the time, the 20 of the 24 hours in jail. I was like, oh my God. Now, mind you, this was when this is the same month that I shipped my first curl box in February. So I essentially spent the entire time, February, March, April, on probation. Now, in other people's minds, that's like, oh my God, that's a setback because there are so many limits on your life when you are quote unquote on probation. But they always, okay, there's a quote: if you reject the sense of injury, the injury itself disappears. So the way I looked at it is that this is a time for me to be really focused and disciplined, and I don't need to be going out, I don't need to be driving around. I can be focused on what I'm supposed to be doing. So it was that an obstacle, perhaps, but I took it and I flipped it and used it to for the better good of myself and my business. So I just think that this is your story. There are no stories that are free of obstacles and setbacks, and you have to know that no one gets to the top or to any place without some sort of story, some sort of injury, some sort of something. So you have to push past that. The second thing is fear. Fear is learned. I know you've heard that before, but they say fear is educated into us. And if we wish, it can be educated out. Now, think about the diet, your media diet, your Twitter diet, your how many tips do you read? How to, 10 tips to get ahead, five this to do that. And you're essentially allowing someone else to tell you what to do. And if you don't do it this way, then you won't ever be successful. But you are here, you are an individual, you are not like everyone else for a reason. The way your mind works, and if it's different from other people, it's that way for a reason. So don't try to stuff yourself in a box. So that you appear more like everyone else because you're so afraid to be yourself. Because when you are not afraid to be yourself, it scares other people. But I always am myself, whether it makes people comfortable or not, because I'm like, I'm not going to be uncomfortable to make you comfortable. This is who I am. I do not believe that I came here to be like other people. I don't believe it. And when you think about your media diet, what are you ingesting every day? So one of the things that I used to always like in the height of the recession, every day on the news, they're hopping on there. The unemployment rate, it's 15%, it's 16%, it's 20% today. Well, guess what that means? That means 80% of the population has jobs. I mean, it's just all in how you look at it. And if you allow that little slice of negativity to infect your life, it's the power of the subconscious mind. If you go into a relationship saying you know it's not going to work out, guess what? It's not going to work out. If you go to a job interview with the unemployment statistics on your mind, your actions, the way you speak, everything you do will lack positivity and you won't get the job. And so it's just like, whenever people go, yeah, I knew it was going to work out that way, it's like, well, then that sucks for you, because if you go into anything with a negative outlook, don't be surprised at the negative outcome. So it's like, and if you go into it with a positive outlook and you don't get it, you have to know that it's just not for you. Like, you have to know that. I went on a job interview maybe 2.5, 3 years ago was the last job interview I went on, because I was in the process of starting my other business, and like maybe 1 or 2 months in, I kind of was like, I'll admit, got a little bit afraid, like maybe I should, would have been a cool job, and maybe I should just, go on the interview and just see what happens, because what if my business doesn't work out? And I went on the interview and it was hideous. I mean, I even went on 2 interviews. The second interview, I just walked out because I was just like, these companies, they think they know that people are watching the media. And so it's like, if you think you're going to haze me, scare me, punk me, I'm good on that. So I felt like that was the universe's way, God's way of saying, I'm telling you where you need to go. So what do they say? Rejection is protection. That rejection was what I needed to keep me focused on self-employment and starting new businesses. So don't ever, whether you be rejected in a relationship, you would be rejected in a job, rejected from some sort of club or sorority or whatever, that's your protection. There is another path. Your path is different. That's not your path. And there's only one way to show you that's not your path, and that's to not give it to you. So you have to know it's not for you. Um, the other the other thing, and it's the final, is doubt. So we went over obstacles, fear, and lastly, doubt. Doubt to me is either self-inflicted or something that you get from other people, the people around you. I always say, stop asking for advice for things that you know you want to do. If you know you want to do something, stop asking people whether or not you should do it. The only sort of advice you want to get is on doing it. And if people's opinions, um, if they don't help you, I am an advocate of saying, if what you have to say to me is not positive and is not going to help me, I don't need to know it. So that's for you. You keep your negativity, because the power of the subconscious mind says a negative person goes nowhere. If all you have to spew is negativity, that means you live it, you breathe it, you eat it, and nothing good is happening for your life. I don't care. I don't care if your negativity is true. Save it. So if someone can't help you, remove them from your circle. The second thing is, when it comes to doubt, I always say, many people, no one has ever required you to be excellent. No one has ever required that you do it to the max. I require myself to do things to the level of excellence. Like, even as a kid, I would be doing my homework and my mom would get so upset with me because I'd go through 15 sheets of paper, because when I turned in my homework, I wanted it perfect. Like, no whiteout. My mom's like, Miley, just use some whiteout. Or if the eraser, if it was too much and it just was just the paper's too blemished, I'm like, I'm starting over. So no one has ever required you to be excellent. So you don't really have excellent habits. You have to get in the space of excellent habits. What are excellent habits? Doing every single thing you say you're going to do. If you say you're coming at 2, go at 2. If you're going to be late, give enough heads up. If you say I'm going to call you back, call back. Do everything you say you're going to do, and you have to do it when you don't want to do it. You have to do it when you feel like crap. If you're sick, do it when you're sick, because when you're doing your own thing, or you're when you reach the place of like happiness or success, or you finally got the dream job, you still have to do it and work when you're sick. Like I don't get sick days. And do it when it appears that you cannot. If your schedule looks so crazy, I just don't think I'm going to make it. When you have people that are really close to you, and let's just say, it's your friend's gallery opening and you have 25 other things to do, even if you just go for 10 minutes, you still did what you said you're going to do. And how that resonates with people, it's huge. So practice excellent habits. And then finally, positivity. I'm the queen of positive quotes. I'm the queen of pumping myself up. My mom always teases me, my lead, don't pull a muscle patting yourself on the back. I like to just keep telling myself I'm great, because there are going to be enough people telling me that I'm not. So it starts with me. Everything starts with me. My perception of myself, how great I think I am. Um, Demand that people around you be positive. So remove naysayers and mediocre people from your circle. If people in your circle, all they ever do is complain, all they ever want to do is talk about what somebody else has or doesn't have, that's not someone that's going to help in your life. um People who are riddled with fear, oh my god, I wouldn't do that. I mean, what if you lose your job? What if you try it and it doesn't work out? Guess what? The worst thing that can happen to you has already happened to you. You've lost a parent, you lost a sibling, you lost your job, you you were broke, you didn't pay a bill, and look, you're still here. So why would you be afraid to do what you need to do? Because we're so resilient. We just don't process it because we just keep moving. And don't be around people that aren't dreamers, non-dreamers or advanced thinkers. I don't like being around people who don't dream and don't think past what's right in front of them, who don't think big. Those are the people that you need around you. So that is my very very forceful way of pushing past fear, obstacles, and doubt. So hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to do this again soon. Bye.